I've decided to start a mini-series around health, and this is episode 1. Given the world we live in today, capitalistic, globalized, always on the run, it has become so easy not to give our bodies the attention they deserve. The push to produce, to work long hours, and to balance that with family, friends, and other things we enjoy in life. It's easy to neglect our health in the middle of all of that. The ironic thing is that our bodies are literally with us all the time. I mean, we are, quite literally, our bodies. So it's strange to think that we don't understand them as well as we should. So I've taken the larger part of this year to pause and hit the reset button on a few different areas of my life, one being health. And what I started to learn about myself over the course of this year is just how naive I am about my body. And quite frankly, as much as I hate to say it, most of the world's population falls into this category. There is so much our body does that we are oblivious to. How much do we know about the biochemical processes that are taking place inside of our bodies every second? How much do we know about our cellular health and what our cells need to thrive, which, by the way, is the bedrock on which the rest of our health is built? I want to talk a little bit about something I like to call health dependency. Health dependency is a name I give to leaving your health in the hands of other people. And I think this really starts early, being told what's good for you and your health, and this message being continually reinforced through different media, like the Got Milk ads on TV, for example.
Drink your milk, kids. I don't want milk.
The first time I learned about health and nutrition in a formal and structured way, my mind goes back to this dusty PE classroom in the 6th grade, where I was shown a picture of the food pyramid, which you've all seen, and being told this is the best way to get all your nutrition and to stay healthy. From a young age, we're conditioned to rely on other people to tell us what's good for us or what's best for our health. And we don't really give our health a second thought until something unexpected happens and we're forced to look inward and to take a real close look at our own health. So, in the spirit of hitting the reset button on my health this year, I have made it a priority to put in place practices and habits and structures that will take me away from health dependency and towards a state of being increasingly intimate with, aware of, and in charge of my body. So today, I just wanted to share a simple structure I have developed to understand and track just one small part of our health, which is blood results. So the idea to do this, to develop this structure that I'm going to share with you in a bit, really popped into my head when I got my blood tested a couple weeks ago. Because what I've discovered is that your blood is like this sort of nucleus for your body where so much information about different aspects of your health is stored. So a few days after my blood was taken, I received an email saying my results were ready, but I never looked at them. And it wasn't until a week later that I finally was like, oh wait, I should probably look at my results. But here's what I realized in that moment. I was waiting for the doctor to tell me if I was okay or not. I assumed that since the doctor hadn't sent me anything, I was fine. I had relinquished all sense of personal responsibility and had completely relied on someone else to tell me where my health stands. So then I finally checked my results, and this is what I saw. I had 4 results outside of the normal or recommended range, but there was a note at the bottom from my doctor saying everything was fine. As a patient, although I trusted my doctor's note, I was just confused as to how everything could be okay when I had some results that were outside of the normal range. So I thought it would make sense to finally inform myself as to what is going on with these nebulous, confusing blood tests. When you look at them, you don't understand anything because they're just acronyms upon acronyms, and you don't know what the ranges mean, what it means to be on the low end or the high end of the range, what causes it. I was just living in this cloud of ignorance. So I started researching every confusing little acronym on my blood tests and going online to find answers as to what these things mean and calling my doctor for any information I couldn't get. I thought it would make sense to compile all of this information in one place to make it easy to monitor my results over time And so I created a little template, which is what I'm going to take you through today. I'm just going to explain the types of information I've included and how I have the chart set up. So remember, the goals here are 1, to understand what the different tests mean, and 2, to set up and organize the information and the results in a way that makes it easy to track the change in results over time. So first thing, what I've come to learn is that in a standard blood test, there are 3 different panels that are checked for. So I have represented each panel with a tab. Then within each tab, I have the full name of the panel, as well as what the panel tests, which is information I got from online. Then below that, I have this table, which I call the main table, that lists out each indicator that was tested for, an explanation of what the indicator tests, and the normal results range, as well as my results for each year. The explanation column I mostly filled out through online searches, but for anything I couldn't find, I just contacted my doctor. There's a lot going on in these charts given the sheer number of indicators across the 3 panels. So in order not to overwhelm myself, I'm going to draw attention to the results that are bad or outside of the normal range. So to do that, I'm going to use the conditional formatting function within Excel. So first, I'm going to highlight my first row of results. Then I'm going to go to conditional formatting, highlight sales rules, more rules. And here where it says greater than, I'm going to choose not between, because what I want to tell Excel is to highlight the cells with my results in red if they fall outside of a range that I'm going to specify. So to set the low end of the range, I click on this empty box here, and then I select this here, and I'm actually going to remove the $sign in front of the 5. That way I can drag the range down to the rest of my results. And then for the second box here, I'm going to set the high end of the range. And again, remove this $sign. And then I'm going to hit OK. So nothing happened because these values fall within the range. But now what I'm going to do is copy and then apply this formatting to the rest of the cells. So I'm going to right click and go to Paste Special, Formatting, and you can see the 3 cells that are highlighted in red do indeed fall outside of their range. Applying this conditional formatting is really helpful because, as soon as I open up the Excel template, my eyes are automatically drawn to the results that I need to keep an eye on for the future. So now that I've identified the indicators to pay attention to, I start developing questions like, what is responsible for my value being low or high? What is the upshot for my value being outside of the normal range? How do I reduce my value or increase my value to put it back into the normal range? So I gave these questions their own little table down below the main results table, and I really just answered them via online researching and then confirming with my doctor. One of the things I learned from talking to my doctor is just because one of your results is outside of the normal or recommended range, it doesn't necessarily mean it's an area of concern, because there are other factors you need to take into account. For example, there might be multiple indicators for your liver. So if one is off, it's not necessarily representative of the whole picture. Lastly, I just created this little box here where I define some terms and units just to better help me understand what everything represents. So that's really it for this video. Again, I just wanted to share a quick little template that I made to become more aware of and take charge of my own health. But before you go, I have a quick little announcement to make. For the past several weeks, I worked with Skillshare to create a class around my favorite hobby, language learning, and I just dropped it last week. The title is Language Through Sound, Using Music to Launch Your Language Learning Journey. I use music as my medium, as is evident in the title, and the purpose of this class is to develop a really strong ear for the target language through listening to music and applying some active listening techniques that I guide you throughout the class. The class is really rooted in the philosophy of, as a baby, when you learn your mother tongue, you're an expert at listening before you even try to speak. And so listening is key when it comes to learning a new language. Check out my referral link in the description down below to get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare, where you can not only check out my class, but explore the thousands of other classes on Skillshare, whether that's learning how to make a nice poached egg or learning how to draw cats. Literally anything and everything in between. So thank you. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button down below to get notified when I release my next video.